10 things I learned the very first time that I tried meal prep. Spoiler alert, it did not go as planned, and I almost gave up on this life-changing method that I have implemented for the last 13 years. You're gonna wanna hear this. If you love saving time and money on food, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get into it. The first thing I learned, take it slow. A go big or go home mentality for the very first time you try meal prep is a recipe for disaster. Do not, and I repeat, do not try to prep an entire month worth of meals the very first time you try meal prep. It's what I did, and by the time I got home with my groceries, I was left exhausted. I tried to prep all the recipes, and I ended up wasting a lot of money in food the very first time that I tried meal prep. So start small. Try out by prepping 1 to 3 different meals the very first time you do it. See if it's a meal prep system that you actually like that works for your family, and build as you go. Number 2, you only need 5 to 6 recipes per week. I thought when I started meal prepping, it made sense that I would need 7 recipes for 7 days. This is not true. You would not believe how often you end up going out for something random. Somebody has a birthday party, family gathering, holiday. I always recommend planning for at least 1 night a week that you're gonna have either leftovers or end up eating out of the house somewhere. I find the sweet spot is 6 recipes. So when I do my meal plans, I plan 6 recipes a week, 1 day for leftovers, and we can either enjoy leftovers on that night, or that's the night out that we end up not having to eat dinner at home. Number 3, do not plan, shop, and prep on the same day. Way too much work. It takes up an entire day. And I don't know about you, but I am so busy. I need small, actionable daily steps to get me to that end goal. That 1 month meal plan we talked about earlier, I tried doing it all on the same day. I spent hours meal planning, picking out the perfect meals because I was planning for the whole month. 7 recipes per week, all different recipes. I spent I wanna say it took me at least an hour to make the grocery list. Then I went to the store, and by this time I was halfway through my day. I still haven't even started the meal prepping part. By the time I got home, it was evening. I thought, kids will go to bed, I'll do all my prep, it's gonna be fantastic. Well, I ended up getting through a couple of recipes, being completely exhausted, not having enough room in my fridge for food. It was a mess. So do not plan, prep, and shop on the same day. Instead, use the 3-day method for meal prep. Day 1, you're gonna plan and make your grocery list. Day 2, you're gonna shop your home and then shop the store. And day 3, we're not grocery shopping and meal prepping the same day. Day 3, you're gonna do your meal prep. 4, I want you to start thinking about meal prep as a moment for self-care. What if after the kids went down, you're prepping for 1 hour with your favorite music in the background, a Netflix TV show on, and you just enjoy that experience. Make it a moment for self-care. Don't think about it as another task that you have to get done before you can enjoy yourself. 5, bag holders are 1,000% worth it. It is the tool when I started freezer meal prep that I did not have. And yeah, there was some spills. There was some bags that spilled, and it's a really cheap tool. Again, you don't need it for freezer meal prep, but I have learned that there are some tools that are worth having. So the freezer bag holders, 1,000% worth it. 6, curbside pickup is the best. I love ordering my groceries online and then doing a curbside pickup. It prevents me from the stress of grocery shopping with kids next to me. It allows me to really analyze my shopping list and make sure that I'm getting what I need. It's just the most wonderful tool. And I think most places, if you spend maybe over $30, you're gonna end up getting your groceries for free. Or, oh man, wouldn't that be awesome? You're gonna get the curbside pickup for free. Not your groceries, you gotta pay for the groceries still. But there's no added charge for curbside pickup, and it's 100% worth it, especially if you're someone who gets nervous about going into grocery stores. Okay, another thing that I learned, make sure that you are labeling your bags before adding the food. The first time I did meal prep, I added a bunch of food into my freezer bags and I forgot to label it, so I tried labeling it afterwards and the words came out so funky. So I've definitely learned it is super important to label your freezer bags before you put the food in there. It's the first thing you should do. 8, you don't need a different recipe for every single night. You should be doubling or tripling certain recipes you choose. So the method that works really great for us is I plan out 2 weeks of dinners, 6 recipes for each week. And those 6 recipes, I double them. So in that 2-week window of time, we might have chicken fajitas twice. We might have a family pizza party twice. I am prepping 2 of them, cutting down on costs because I'm using the same ingredients, cutting down on time because I'm prepping the same recipes, but because it's spread out over 2 weeks, it feels like we have a ton of variety. It does not feel like we're eating the same thing over and over again. So you don't need a different recipe for every night of the week. Remember, feel free to double and triple things. Prep dinner every 2 weeks. It takes about 90 minutes with freezer meal prep, and it is the most like the biggest bang for your buck. So if you're prepping every 2 weeks your dinners for meal prep, it takes about 60 to 90 minutes. Sometimes it takes me 45 minutes, honestly, but I've been doing this a long time. I tell people 60 to 90 minutes for 2 weeks worth of dinners. That's the sweet spot for grocery savings and for not having to spend a whole lot of time in the kitchen. Here's the formula that I use when I am planning my 2-week dinner meal plan. By the way, tip, all of these carrot shavings I'm gonna stick in a freezer bag, and that freezer bag is gonna be reserved for when I make broth. So you can use your leftover carrot shavings, onion stuff, all those leftovers, you can use that to make vegetable broth. Just store it in a freezer bag in your freezer. Okay, so my formula for my meal plans is I do 6 recipes and I double them. I choose 1 beef, 2 chicken, 1 vegetarian, 1 pasta, and 1 soup. That prep time tends to take 60 to 90 minutes, and all of the recipes will cook themselves. So for 2 weeks, I don't have to cook in the kitchen. This system has probably reduced my kitchen time by about 80%. It's pretty amazing. Okay, number 10, you need to save the meal plans and grocery lists that you spend all that time creating. So the first few times I did it, I wrote down on paper or put it on my computer or something, the recipes. I made my grocery list, you know, going to Pinterest, looking up your recipes, things like that. Well, then I just discarded it. And I could have been saving those meal plans so that in a pinch, when I needed a meal plan and I didn't have time to like spend the time planning or anything, I would have had meal plans I knew my family already liked and a grocery list that already was put together. When I started saving my meal plans, that's one of the reasons my family dinner was born, because I could now share the meal plans I had been using to save money, time, energy with you, because I was saving them. So you can do this too for your own custom meal plans. Save your meal plans, save your grocery list. Overall, my final takeaway is this. Meal prep is probably the #1 way to reduce a ton of stress, mom guilt, financial pressures in your life. Food is one of our biggest expenses. And if we're able to cut down that food expense while still really enjoying the meals that we make, we're building confidence, we're letting go of mom guilt. It's probably one of the best things I've ever done for myself. And I couldn't recommend the freezer meal prep enough, especially if you are a busy parent who is just tight on time. If you found any of this information helpful, make sure that you like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.